Everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Grue Rume. And for the Grue Room today, we got a great guest, and he is in the movie The Kissing Booth 3, and he's also in The Kissing Booth 1 and 2. His name is Joshua Eady, and I'm really looking forward to talking to him. We're going to talk to him about The Kissing Booth films, about his fitness and working out, and a whole bunch of other things. So really looking forward to this. And I am Rocco Cross. I am the host at Stutters. I am the host of the Grue Room, and my interview with Josh. Welcome to Grue, and thank you so much for taking time out of your night, being a guest on the show tonight. Thank you.
No problem, dude. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. Thank you for your time. Yeah, I'm in Capetown at the moment. It's 1 a.m. now.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah, dude, it's worth it to stay up to have a chat with you, man. I've been super excited about this whole week. So thank you for having me in.
Wow, thank you. And that's really awesome. Like you're up this late just to talk. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, dude. It's been a crazy week. It's been a very busy week. So it kind of just like rolled into the night and, kind of staying up in any way, doing some work and stuff. And obviously you and I had spoken, I think last week already about trying to get together and have a chat. So it's something that we're
Definitely.
looking forward to.
Wow, thank you. And you're saying you live in Cape Cape Town, right?
Yes, yeah. So I'm currently in Cape Town, South Africa at the moment. Um, we were in Canada and COVID hit, and we came home.
Oh,
So this is where I'm from. This is where I'm born and raised. My family's here, and yeah, it's nice to be home with the family.
wow. You know, I always wanted to go there and see it, visit it and stuff. So how's it like living there? Like that's always the place I wanted to go, but it never went now. And with COVID restrictions, it's gonna be a while.
Yeah, look, I think South Africa is a very special place. A lot of people have certain things to say about it. Um, it's obviously my home. It's where I'm from. It's very close to heart for me.
Hmm.
Literally, my entire family's here. So, I mean, it's beautiful. It's in my opinion, and in the opinions of many people that I've spoken with, especially people that live overseas and have had the chance to travel quite a bit. Definitely rated as one of their favorite places to go. So in terms of
Oh,
holiday, in terms of like pulling in and beaches and mountains and hikes and oceans and forests and vineyards and everything, it's incredible.
oh, nice. Yeah, definitely want to try getting there. Like go down there for a week or two to visit. Like whenever this COVID crap is done and over with, like I'm hoping to get it down there.
Yeah, for sure. Pull in, dude. It's amazing. You'll love it.
Nice. And you do do shoots too besides being a actor, right? You do modeling shoots.
Yeah, so I started as a model when I was 18, and I wanted to act. I kind of identified that I enjoyed acting and performing and storytelling and entertainment from about 10, 11 years old. Didn't identify that there was being an actor, that this was like what I wanted to do, but I knew that I loved acting and performing. And as I grew up, I kind of identified that that's the job that I fell in love with and that I've always wanted to do. And I read an article that Charlize Theron, who's also a South African, the way that she did it was she started modeling, and so I was like,
Oh,
hey,
wow.
that must be the way. I don't, like coming out of South Africa, like what else do we do? So yeah, I got into modeling and I modeled for 2 years. Uh,
Nice.
through my modeling agent that I booked my first gig, and then went from that gig and kind of so the story went on.
So, out of all the shoots you've done, which shoot do you think you had the most fun doing?
Um, that's a good question, dude. I think in terms of like on set,
Hmm.
like for film or for TV, every project had its own like special thing that has made it special for me. So Kissing Booth was obviously, like a big break for all of us. It was a very special project. It got, global release. People reacted very well to it. The viewership was high. The support from people and from fans was incredible. So it gave me everything I'd ever wanted, and and more. But in terms of the other projects that I'd done, the first project I ever did was a film called Journey is the Destination.
Oh,
And I worked
nice.
alongside Ben Schnetzer and Ella Purnell and a few others. And that was my first time ever being like on a set. Flew
Wow.
us to a different city, and everyone lived together and spent all their time on set, kind of putting this project together like 24/7 nonstop.
Wow.
That's also got a very special place in my heart. It was the first time I'd, been given the privilege to learn from the people around me, to kind of start developing a passion for this, this art form and this craft of acting. And I could not have asked to be surrounded by better people. So I learned a lot from them. In terms of like photography and photo shoots and stuff,
Hmm.
um, the recent one we did for Vanity Teen was a lot of fun. They kind of just gave us free reign and kind of said, whatever you want to do. So we threw on some skirts and some crazy cool outfits and just kind of had some fun with it. Yeah, did some things way back in the day with GQ on a yacht when I was like 17, 18 years old,
Oh,
and I was
that's
like,
so awesome.
at the time that was the coolest thing. You get on, get on this boat and do this whole fancy shoot. So that was also quite a memorable one. Yeah.
Nice, nice. That's awesome. I love that. Especially like being on a yacht and you're only 17, 18 years old and you're already on a yacht and doing shoots and all that. That must have been like really, really nice.
Yeah, I think, like being that age, I was very lucky at that age to kind of go through a bit of a phase of kind of being given everything that I thought I wanted in terms of,
Hmm.
at that age, what is, supposedly quotation a career, and what is supposedly money, and what is supposed, you kind of have these ideas, these like ideals of what you'd like to be and who you'd like to be in terms of career and as a person. And I learned the lesson very early on that the boats and the money and the fancy, the fake friends and all the bullshit that surrounds that, lasts very, very, a very short, amount of time. So I was very lucky to learn that very early on. So yeah, the experiences like the shoot and kind of getting to learn that and see that world and kind of take out of it what was valuable was amazing. The artificial and the image side of it was not really something that I enjoyed all that much, but nonetheless, boats and yachts are hella cool. So
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely know about like, fake friends and all that stuff. And I'm sure doing what you do, like acting and modeling and all that, like you've come across your fair share of friends that just wanted to be around you for the fame and stuff.
Yeah, I think it's always a fun thing to talk about, and that's why I'm always glad that people like yourself have interest in those areas and bring it up in
Hmm.
terms of, just like life experience and people and the emotional and psychological toll of life for all of us. It's always different for different people. Everyone's fighting a different battle, and I think I've been very, very lucky to have an extremely strong support system in terms of my partner, my family, my friends,
Yeah.
and they've kind of just like kept the boat afloat, to be honest. um, I'm the kind of person that's a little bit all over the place, and I often get very dictated by my emotions and make decisions very swiftly and abruptly, and I've just always been that person, especially as a kid. So you know loving to entertain and loving to emote and to experience different things, I've always been back and forth, and stability in life is always very important.
Oh,
um,
definitely.
so getting stability and getting support, and kind of having a home base in true friends, real friends, as well as real family, has always been amazing.
Yeah, definitely. And when did you start working out? Because like you definitely have a great build. Did you like did you start working out early on?
Thank you for the kind words. I throughout primary school and high school, I was actually a swimmer, and I
Okay.
swam like relatively competitively, and loved that. Was absolutely in love with swimming, and I swam my nationals and didn't do as well as I thought I wanted to, and had a bit of a shit attitude about it, and kind of stopped swimming, to be honest. Kind of got a bit lonely. Played a lot of school sports, and my dad's a really big guy, and he was into weightlifting.
Oh wow.
And yeah, he used to take me to the gym as a baby in like a carry chair. So I'd always been
Nice.
with him as a kid, and yeah, I kind of got into weightlifting with him, and yeah, I just kind of kept going from there. A lot of my friends are, I mean, as I say, just incredible people, but they
Yeah.
all, in certain fighting styles, or their personal trainers, or their
Oh
dietitians, or
wow.
their lifters, or they. So I've been very lucky to have that kind of group of people around me. So it's always great to have people tell you, you're looking good, or you're doing
Yeah.
well, or like how you train. And I'm like, I look at the people around me, and I'm like, these guys literally just tell me what to do and eat all day, and it's the coolest thing ever. So yeah, training's been a huge anchor. So yeah, finally getting a little bit back into swimming and stuff as well, and enjoying it.
Nice. And like, how which typical like what do you do to for working out, like how and dieting and all that stuff?
So it kind of depends. So weightlifting's always just been my biggest passion in terms of like training and working
Mhm.
out. I've always admired, bodybuilding and kind of the art of that. I think since I was younger, it's incredible the amount of dedication and focus and passion the guys have for that sport. It's awesome. I love it. So I think weight training was just always what it was. Whenever being a bigger guy, whenever we, getting ready to go to set or get ready for a project, it's always cutting down and losing weight, in which case the workouts change, and then we come off set again, and I get given, 3 to 6 months, just have fun and train the way I want to. And then we go full out into weightlifting again. And I've kind of got to a bit of a point now where I tried out jiu-jitsu earlier this year, and
Wow.
I loved it. It's the coolest sport. I have so much respect for that. So I did a bit of that, loved that, and as I said, just got back into swimming. So
Okay.
kind of mixing and matching it at the moment between weightlifting for most of the week, and then kind of throwing in a bit of a long distance row, or some jits classes, or some swimming again as well, and just kind of get a bit more mobility out of life. Kind of learn a
Yeah.
couple of skills and enjoy things outside of a gym as well. In terms of eating, um, I was always on the side of eat as much as possible and train as hard as possible, and you always just get big and cool. And that was the end of that.
Mhm.
And then I turned, 24, and I was like, oh, things are, metabolism is starting to slow
Right.
down. So kind of veered with a bit of caution on that. So I guess I've always been into the creatines and the protein
Yeah.
powders
Yeah.
and all that shit. But it's also, just kind of, it's changed now in terms of stay away from carbs and eat a lot of protein, and hope and pray you wake up in the morning looking like a Hemsworth, so the way it is.
Yeah. And what kind of sports did you play in school?
Well, swimming was my main kind of thing. um I I look back at school and like the decisions I made and the things I did, and I'm like, fuck, I wish I was still that confident. um I played everything. I did cricket, hockey,
Oh,
soccer, athletics. I played netball for a stage. um it was, I can't remember, it was like, like the earlier years of primary school.
mhm.
And all the girls played netball, and I was like, cool, I want to meet the girls that go to this school, because I went
Yeah.
to a lot of schools. So I was like, cool, I'm going to join the netball team. So I played netball for like 2-3 months, um,
Nice.
which was so much fun. I lost a bet and had to play rugby, and that was the hardest thing I've ever done. So respect to rugby players. um, yeah, I just kind of like bounced back and forth between different sports. I think swimming stuck. um, to not sound too, self-obsessed, I kind of like that it was a one-man sport, and that everything was down to me, and that, it was, I make it or break it. And, it's kind of put the work in and kind of see the results. And I think when you see the results, then it becomes enjoyable. So that was kind of my main one. Yeah.
Right. And like, what kind of sports do you like to watch on television or go into live games?
That's a solid question. So UFC,
Oh, I
obsessed
love
with.
UFC. Yeah.
So I watch a lot of UFC. The F1, obsessed with it as well. That Drive to Survive is just the best thing since sliced bread. So we're obsessed over that. So watch all the seasons of that. And now the biggest Norris and Ricardo fan. So shout out to McLaren. Please sponsor me one day. That'd be amazing.
Nice. Nice.
And what else? My younger brother's a little bit into soccer, so we watch a lot of the Premier League and a lot of that kind of stuff. Half of our family's like super into golf, so I'm really trying hard to start understanding golf again. Or like, I mean, I never did, but I'm trying to like understand golf and watch golf and get that going. One of my best is an incredibly good tennis coach. And so I spend a lot of time watching tennis with him, and it's just like our thing.
Nice.
I understand nothing and he understands everything. And so there's like this enjoyable moment between the two of us watching that. So super into that. Trying to think what else the best thing we did when we were in Vancouver, we went to an ice hockey game.
Oh, sweet.
Ice hockey's dope.
Yes.
A cool balance of sport and just like brutality of just like messing each other up. It's a lot of fun to watch. And then rugby, I'm obsessed. I mean, I'm South African, so like it's a big deal to us. There's a documentary series called Chasing the Sun. That's an name, right? Called Chasing the Sun. That is, it documents the South African rugby team and their backstories and the different, backgrounds that they come from. And it makes me so proud to be South African. The country's come a long way, and you can see it in the team. And having won the last World Cup, it means the world to us. So yeah, shout out to the South African rugby team. They're the most incredible group of humans. So yeah, rugby's very close to heart. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. I didn't even know that sport was as big as it is there.
Yeah, I think it's been an important sport, more so in the past couple of years. It's become quite a symbol of diversity for our country, which, as you know, in South Africa has been a huge issue that we've been, as a people, trying really hard to address. And it's showcased very well in rugby. Our captain's a legend. Our coaches are amazing. Our team's incredible. And we were kind of the underdogs going into the World Cup.
Yeah.
And we destroyed it. So we killed it. Very proud. Very, very, very proud of it. Yeah. So
nice. And for your films, you're 3 films in for Kissing Booth, and how has all of this been, like how big the films are and everything involved with it?
It's been a crazy experience. It's been 4 or 5 years of all of our lives. It's crazy for me to think that I'm 25 now, and I signed on to the first movie when I was 20 or 19. So it's basically the whole of my 20s almost, which is a crazy thing to think. And I mean, we weren't on set every day for 4 years.
Of course.
It was on set for 3-4 months, waiting the rest of the year. This like pure excitement of like, I've finally done this project. I'm so lucky to be a part of it, and genuinely am. In terms of the response, in terms of the fan base, in terms of how much people loved it, like to have a little part in it, to have something to say, in terms of such a special project. It's been incredible. I literally couldn't have asked for anything more. I couldn't have asked for something better, at the perfect age with the perfect group of people. So it's been a bit of a mix of two different feelings. It's been gratitude, and it's been this like overwhelming sensation of like, just relief, I guess. Kind of going, oh wow, like there are projects there, and there are things to be a part of, and there are incredible people that can guide and help you in that sense. And the other side has kind of been like, how do you handle this? What's next? What now? How do you grab hold of it and take advantage but not mess it up? This kind of like trying to do the most with what you have and what you've been given. But I think I'm very lucky in terms that it's been 4 years of my life of just pure gratitude and just, pure bliss in terms of what a special project. Everyone involved, Taylor, Macy, Jacob, Joel, Joey, everyone's just been absolutely incredible. So yeah, it's been a huge learning curve. It's been a big part of all of our lives, and it's, shaped a lot of who we all are. Getting to play Tappen. I spoke very recently. I don't want to ramble too long, but I spoke
That's all right.
very recently with someone about it, and I was saying how Tappen as a character reminded me, half so of me in high school. Just the kind of like, pure enjoyment in life. No one's tainted you. No one's told you what to be or what not to be, and you blissfully unaware of the mistakes you're making, and just so pure at heart. And in terms of like being the character, it was purely just rocking up at set and just being like, hey, I'm Josh, and you allowing me to have fun, like cool. Just really had fun with it. And that's what was very special about it. So it was hard to say goodbye, because it was, it felt like a piece of me, that kind of like, immature, blissfully unaware young person that we all are at that age, that luckily I got to put into a character and kind of have last forever, and kind of carry on with life with that next to me.
Nice. And like when you did the first film, and now you just recently did the third film, like, did you ever think that it would draw as many fans as it did, like having like a huge fan base?
Not at all. I think I remember auditioning for it and going in and doing it and having fun in the audition room and meeting Vince, the director, and kind of having a chat with him. No idea. Absolutely no idea. I mean, there's so much since then that I've learned in terms of industry and how it works, and how to market a movie, and who the people are, and how everything rolls and rocks around, and how the system works. And knowing that, and knowing how great Netflix is and how important streaming is, it makes sense that the movie did well. It's the perfect teenage rom-com. It's been so well put together, that it's just pure escapism for that demographic. And yeah, to answer your question, had no idea. I mean, I didn't even know that they were going to do a 2 and 3. We did the first one, and it was 6 or 7 months later, that I was like, cool. I'd done 1 or 2 smaller things since that. It was kind of like, hey, this is me now. Got a job offer in something else, and things weren't feeling right with the offer, and I turned the offer down, and 2 weeks later got the call saying there's another 2 movies. So that was just meant to be. But yeah, had no idea. So thank the Lord we got to make 3 of them.
Yeah. Wow. And Kissing Booth 3 is out now, just recently came out. Is there anything you can tell us about the third film, if people haven't seen it yet?
I think if people haven't seen it yet, it's a great time for people to watch it now, in terms of it. I'd be surprised if someone in the demographic that it's meant for hadn't seen it at least one of them.
Yeah,
So if you
exactly.
haven't seen one of them, like just keep watching and watch all of them. It's a great storyline. Yeah, the ending was surprising, even for me. Yeah, it was a hard goodbye for everyone. You definitely see the change between the first and the third in terms of the characters and who the people are and the decisions that they have to make. And my favorite thing about the films is that it portrays that part of life really well, in terms of the decisions that you have to make, and the relationships and friendships in life, and people going different ways and making decisions of this college or that college, or date this person or don't, or like the importance of family, and maybe
Yeah.
even moving overseas or moving to a different city or whatever, like just certain things that come up in that age bracket that are so important, that like towards life. And that's kind of what I take out of it. It's fun. It's a great sit down and just sit back and enjoy, and a bit of like escapism, have a bit of a laugh and just enjoy it. Yeah, and I think that's what the third one kind of gives, is just sit back and enjoy it, have a laugh, and say goodbye to something very special like the rest of us.
Wow. And what did you like best about playing your role for Kissing Booth 3?
Um, I think it's, as I said, of just getting to have fun. That's purely what it came down to. I think it was from the first one. It was a very exciting new experience for a lot of us. And so putting all of us in a studio, in a room, or on a set together with that pure excitement was very special. And I kind of got to portray that with the character. And any chance they gave me to say something or have some fun or do something or be seen, I've had the most amount of fun with it, and just kind of took it as far as I could. It was kind of like a no hold back character in terms of a teenager having fun in a movie that allows him within certain boundaries, obviously. But yeah, I think it's a fun part of me that I got to put into a character that will last forever on film, and I'm happy that I got to do it. And it's nice to know that that part of Josh is in something.
Nice. And out of all three films, is there any scene that stands out to you the most, like a scene that you love the most?
My favorite scene, the scene that I really like, I'm trying to think of the right word, but the scene that I really admired throughout the three was in the first one, the confrontation between the brothers. Knowing both of them and the kinds of people that they are, and how special they are, and how that kind of argument would never happen. It's just like it's crazy to see it go down and see them have that moment, and they both did it so well. So that's I think that would kind of take the cherry for me. Yeah, rocking the skirts always obviously fun as well. So I'll put that up there as well. Yeah.
Nice. And how was it like working on set with Joey and Joel?
A lot of fun. They're incredible. They're very, very special people. Extremely talented, multi-dimensional, if I can use that word. They know exactly how to pull the right chords and play the right characters and make the right decisions creatively, and that's something that's very difficult to do. Both of them have incredible careers. I mean, the fact that Joey could flip from Kissing Booth to The Act is incredible. Yeah, they both, and genuinely, not to just say it, they both have literally done so much and answered so many questions I've had, and showed me so many things, and whether it's like recommending what book to read, or recommending who to speak to, or recommending, how to play a scene, or just kind of, being a shoulder. Incredible, great people. Seriously, really, really good people.
Nice. And how do you think your character changed from the first film to the current film?
Um, that's a tricky one. I think when I sat down and kind of looked at it, because you never know how much screen time or how much of a say
Right.
you're going to have. First one was fun. It was just pure fun, and I was just at the age where that's what I knew to portray. And then as we grow up, you kind of start to find different dimensions to the character and try to find different ways to portray that. And if they give you the chance, they do. If they don't, they don't. And you kind of do the best you can and walk away from it. And I think from the first to the third, we kind of just wanted to show the arc between who he was in the first, and just, I guess, just maturing, just kind of moving on from making silly mistakes, and kind of just growing up a little bit, which is great. I think it's cool to see. There's a great sense of storytelling that happens for Elle's character in terms of the people around her, and you kind of see everyone around her move on with life and go into different areas and become who they are, and grow up and develop personalities and develop into their characters of the third one.
Nice. And I always ask guests this when they come on, if they have a film that they're in currently. Was there any like funny or cool behind the scenes stories that happened while you were filming Kissing Booth 3?
So many. Oh, it's actually, look, yeah, I don't even know where to start. We add up all the time we filmed. I think it's about 9 months of everyone, being on a set together.
Yeah.
So many. Trying to think and give you one specifically.
Okay.
It's a hard one.
It's like there's so many.
I'll give you one that
Okay.
I think I can mention. So for the first one, while we were filming, I was still studying my degree as well.
Nice.
On my off days, I do my projects and get ready for exams and stuff like that. And then when we're on set, we'd be on set and be working. And it was getting a little bit hectic for me to kind of balance the two. And where I live in Capetown, where we filmed, peak traffic, it's anywhere from 1.5 to 2.5 hours of driving in the morning. And obviously call times for set are crazy, and the drive, doing classes in the morning, jumping in a car, getting raced to set, doing the scenes, racing back to study, was just getting quite intense on top of all the traveling. And so Jacob and I sat down and spoke, and I was like, dude, I'm burning out hard. And he was like, dude, don't worry about it. Come crash at the hotel with me in town. It's literally down the road from where we're filming.
Oh, wow.
I was like, that's great. So I packed a bag and moved in with him for, I think, 1.5 months. It was 2 months. And moved in with him. And there was one double bed. We were like, sick. Well, you crash the one side, I'll crash the other. And he was honestly the most accommodating castmate ever. And we had such good times. And I lived there for a little while with him. And when I packed to leave, his family came to visit him. And they walked into the lounge and they were like, oh, wow, a pull-out couch. And it was an entire bed. The couch pulled out into an entire bed, and we'd lived together for the longest amount of time, like crashing next to each other on this tiny bed, not knowing there was an entire another bed in the lounge. And it just became such a joke for us that this whole time this happened.
That is so funny.
Yeah, crazy. Just, it was so much traveling around Cape Town, and early mornings and dinners together and weekends out, crashing together. And Joel did the same thing for me. He's such a special human, and wrap gifts and great stories and late night chats and laughs and dealing with hangovers together, and together as well. And just like, dude, it was literally, it's very special. I'm sure a lot of people could say the same thing from other projects as well. You pretty much develop a family.
Mhm.
That's also why it's so hard to chat about the memories and stuff, because there's so many, but they all, so between everyone. Like, you kind of had to be there because it would be the stupidest thing that would be funny, but it would be funny because it would be at 4 a.m.
Yeah, yeah.
all day, just like these things that happen and work. Um, yeah, yeah. But shout out to both of them for being so accommodating.
Wow, nice. And you're also part of a television show. I think it's filming in your town, and you play Liam in it.
Yeah, I do. It's called Lioness. We filmed season 1 a few months ago, and yeah, incredible story about um, a powerful, strong mother figure that has to look after her family. So her husband commits a crime and frames her for it. He disappears and she goes to prison for 8 years, and all the kids are left alone to kind of fend for themselves and have to bounce between different family homes and end up with their aunt and uncle,
Oh,
who are very wealthy and well off. And they kind of face this dichotomy of, their mom in prison, but now living in a wealthy home. And yeah, I played Liam, the eldest son of the family, and he's kind of drug addict and going through the most and dealing with everything, and obviously absentee father, and mom in prison, and he's kind of trying to go through the motions and getting to that stage of life where we got to start developing into actual people with decisions and opinions, and he's kind of facing that stage of life and trying to make the right calls. So yeah, it was very, very taxing role in terms of coming off of Kissing Booth. I wanted to do something that contrasted it quite a bit.
yeah.
Not so much to prove a point to anyone else other than myself, just to kind of be like, hey, let's do something different and like sink your teeth into it and just give everything. Yeah, we did a massive weight drop for it.
Oh, wow.
I can't be, a very good drug addict at 150 kilos. It's not going to happen. So yeah, try to drop as much weight for it as possible and do as much prep and research and all the usual stuff, and just kind of try to get into the mindset of it. It was great, incredible experience, cool people. It's the first project I've ever worked on that's actually been produced by a South African company, like within the home.
Oh, wow, really?
So the streaming platforms and everything. So we often get asked, where is season 2?
Yeah.
I always have to say I don't know. I'm not allowed to say anything more than that.
Okay.
But we did season 1 and it was very well received. So thank you to everyone that watched it. And it's now in Europe, as far as I understand, doing the circuits there, and they're doing the whole spiel there of whatever happens. It's
Yeah,
sad, and
yeah.
I'm not paid to know. But they're doing stuffs on that side. So yeah, I'm fingers crossed on a second season. I'd love the chance to take this character into a second season and kind of sink my teeth into it one more time. But yeah, great show.
So it's not available like where I'm at, right? It's not available in the USA yet.
Right?
Yeah, it's available here or not?
I don't think so, not yet.
Okay.
Yeah, so it went across, I think, through who we produced it with. The deal was for it to go across streaming platforms throughout South Africa, and I think Africa, more Southern Hemisphere type vibe.
Gotcha.
Other than that, I honestly have no idea. I genuinely, because as you ask, I ask as well. Great show, very special to all of us, and I miss it. There's a lot of people that I'd love to get the chance to see it. It's an important story. Having a powerful, strong woman figure like that is incredible. It's a very important story to tell, and is the case a lot of the time. So it was very close to home. So I don't know, not to carry on too long. I don't know. I hope there'll be a second season. I've only been given thumbs up every time I have asked, but I don't know what those thumbs mean. Yeah.
Okay. And you're also involved with Tik Tik TikTok. With videos so far, do you think you had the most fun with? Because
It's a good question. So TikTok, and a lot of my friends call me out on this. TikTok was something that I refused to do for the longest time.
really,
Yeah, because I have younger siblings, and my younger sister, bless her soul and her heart, she's the sweetest person ever. But she got TikTok, and she started explaining it to me, and I was like, "This is a waste of my time. It's a bunch of people dancing." It sounds extremely arrogant to say, but yeah, it was just a bunch of people dancing, and I was like, "That's just not my vibe. I
yeah,
can't dance." Um, and when they did roll out for the third kissing booth, they were like, "Listen, guys, we are putting attention into TikTok. It's a huge focus of that demographic. It's huge in the teenage environments, and a lot of teenagers
exactly.
use it." So I was like, "Sick, I guess this is my time to download it and put myself into this." And downloaded it, and I literally, just before this call, sat in bed with my girlfriend and watched like an hour of TikToks, and we were like, funny. So now, like, I'm the worst person. I'm the worst kind of person. So yeah, I hated it for so long, and now I'm in bed like, look how funny this is. Yeah. So I mean, a lot of the videos I've posted, I'm not very active on it in terms of
Hmm.
like content I put out, just because, as I said, like I don't lip sing and dance and
Oh
stuff.
yeah,
It's just not my vibe. I appreciate it now, but it's just not my vibe. And yeah, so a lot of the videos are just like great memories from set, um, which has been cool. I don't know where I'm going to take it from here, to be honest. There's one or two
okay.
people I'd still like to share at some point, but I don't know where I'm going to take it from here. Maybe I'll just use it as a platform that whenever I'm on set, or to promote a show, or to just kind of have fun and get in touch with people, that could also be a lot of fun. So I don't know, but as it stands right now, I don't want to say things that then a year later I change. But I honestly feel like I stand by the fact that I will not be dancing and doing it on TikTok. So I've said it, and I'm going to stand by that now. Yeah.
Okay. you, you, you it's funny, like when you're looking at the app, you can literally spend like hours looking at it because you watch one video, then you swipe up and there's another one and you like that, and then you just keep watching them over and over, and you don't realize what time it is, and then you look down at the time and you're like, have I really been on this for this long? Like, really?
It's so bad. And it's like there was a study that I didn't do, but someone else did it. But there was a study that I briefly read about, because that's, you just skim things. And they were saying that the action of flicking to another video releases the same, I don't know, dopamine hit, I guess, in the brain, that like pulling the lever of a slot machine does. And it's
Really?
that, like, it's kind of that like flick, like what's next, like what will I see? And because it's such instant gratification and it's so easy, it's just a constant flick, 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 like going through it.
Yeah,
And so
exactly.
you're feeding your brain with more information. Um, yeah, it's bad. I'm actively been trying to stay away from Instagram. I believe it takes a part of my soul and who I am as a person. And so I'm better at staying away from that shit. But yeah, just like mindlessly scrolling. It's the worst thing.
I
Like I
know
said,
that's
like, how much like other shit I could have done with my day if I didn't. Yeah. Yeah.
you're like, yeah, I'll get to that in a minute. Just give me 10 minutes and
It's the worst. It's the worst. So like I'm trying to get it down to like go on, post, chat with the people that say, like kind of show engagement to like a fan or like a follower or like whatever, and chat with your mates, and then get off. Like,
yeah,
don't hang around. It's kind of like going to the party and like being the last guy to leave. It's never cool. Like 3 hours is not cool. Like, get on, do what you got to do, and get out. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, that's how you hope it happens when you go on the app, but then you just get addicted.
Exactly. Exactly.
And what do you like doing during your free time when you're not acting?
Um, That's a good question. So I told myself that I'd learn how to surf.
Okay.
So we've been learning how to surf. That's been a lot of fun. I really want to get back to jits. I actually really enjoyed that sport. That was a lot of fun as well. Um, I used to draw and paint and charcoal sketch and stuff as a kid quite a bit as well.
Nice.
So I've been wanting to get back into that. Swimming as well. And I mean, literally almost everything I've listed to you right now is all exercise. So I sound like a meathead, but um, yeah, we like, actually, it's such a good question. It's all things that I want to get back into that like I put aside for the longest time. And because of COVID and the lockdowns and being stuck at home and everything, kind of made me look back at like childhood and as a kid, and I was like, what did I enjoy doing? Because those things don't just go away.
Well, yeah.
I miss that. I miss art and drawing and creating, and I used to journal and write a lot, and I need to get back to doing that.
Nice.
I'm trying to get better at that as well. So yeah, I enjoy videography and filming and stuff like that as well. I'm a huge avid movie and series watcher. I love watching movies and I love watching series. So that takes up a lot of my time as well, which is probably not the best thing to do, but enjoy that as well. Yeah.
So, what TV series are you currently binge watching?
We just finished brand new Cherry Flavor.
All right, I heard of that. Yeah.
Loved it. I loved it. It's weird and it's out there and it's gruesome and it's raw, and it was just, I love it. And anything that's weird that like you watch with this like, like worried caution.
Mhm.
Love it. It was so good. I really enjoyed it, and everyone's performances were just like, it was awesome. I loved it.
Nice, nice. And like I also run a horror site, so I usually ask Pete the guest this: do you like horror movies? And if you do, what are some horror movies you like?
I mean, this is kind of going to be contradictory, but I am the worst person at horror movies. I cannot watch horror movies. I watched, what have I seen? I've seen One of the Wrong Turns.
Yeah,
Hated
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Um, I watched one of is it Poltergeist? There's been like
Yes.
two of them. I watched one of them in the cinema. It was a girl I was dating a while ago, and she was a fan of horror movies, and it was the worst decision I've made in my life. Um, yeah, and got like halfway into the movie, and I was like, this is the worst thing I could have possibly done. So I'd like go get more snacks or like go to the bathroom multiple times or just like try to listen them all the time because I can't do it. I'm so bad at horrors. Yeah, I'm really bad at them. I would love to be a part of one,
Yeah.
like brand new Cherry Flavor. I don't know if you'd like list it as horror.
Okay.
That kind of thing where it's like good gruesome, you know what I'm saying? And it's like weird and fantastical and like the spin on the real world. I love that. Thrillers are the best. I think as soon as it gets like spiritual and psychological, it starts freaking me out because
Exactly.
I don't have any control of that type of stuff. So that kind of stuff freaks me out. But hats off to guys that make good horror films. Like what's the one I'm thinking of?
Nice.
I'll think of it now. Oh, it was no, never mind. I'll think of it now. I can't. What comes to me now? Never mind. Yeah.
And what about like songs and stuff? What's on your playlist?
It's a good question. So I love music. I learned a little bit of guitar as a kid, and that's another thing that I
Nice.
get back into. I've always wanted to play the drums. In primary school and high school, whenever we had music classes, I was never allowed to get given the drum. I was always given the triangle, and that is a true story. They'd never give me the drums because I just been hammering drums. I love drums. But dude, I've got such an I love rock. I love 80s and 90s rock.
Nice.
Like Metallica, AC/DC, Guns N' Roses, Def Leppard, Led Zeppelin, like the classics. I love that stuff. My dad's obsessed with that, so I grew up with that. I mean, I've got, I don't know if you can see, but if I can show you, I've got like rock and roll tattooed on my arm.
Oh wow, that's so awesome. Nice.
I'm a huge rock and roll fan. Yeah, modern rock. I love punk rock. I love that it's
Mhm.
coming back. I was very lucky. I grew up on 80s and 90s rock, went into punk rock of, Green Day, Blink 182, and all of
Yeah,
those,
yeah.
like Troubled Youth. Um, I love country music and like Southern rock. Um,
Okay.
I don't really do much commercial stuff, but
Hmm.
rap, love hip hop, completely different genre, but love that. I love
Okay.
house, like deep house, as well as amazing, like in the right setting. Um, what else? Heavy metal, I do sometimes, especially for gym. I love heavy metal for gym. Let me see what's like in my downloaded. So many. Um, yeah, I've recently got told about. Let's see if I can find the name. Who's Sugar Man? Sugar Man. Rodriguez. Sorry, that's a random fact, but I recently got told about Rodriguez and found his music, and it's the most amazing thing. It's also got a tie to South Africa, which is great. But yeah, that's also great.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Nice, nice.
Blues and jazz. I love blues and jazz as well. It's incredible. But yeah,
Wow, you definitely listen to everything.
love it. Love music. Love it.
That's awesome. Awesome. And what where do you like to visit when you want to get away from everything?
It's a good question. I haven't done that in a long time. Um, Good question. Because I genuinely haven't like gotten away from everything in a really long time. So,
Yeah.
because I've been trying to get into everything as much as possible.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, true.
um, I think there's a place in South Africa on the East Coast called Coffee Bay, Hole in the Wall. And as a kid, I was obsessed with surfing.
Oh,
Um, and I used to collect Zigzag magazines. And in one of the Zigzag magazines, they had this article on Hole in the Wall, and it's literally like out at sea. There's like a rock face surface mountain thing, and in the middle of it, there's a hole, and the waves break through the hole.
oh wow.
And it was like the most amazing thing for me to see in a magazine, and I was like, cool, I need to go there. And I've been there once. I literally drove there for one night, spent the night, and went home, and I regret not having stayed longer. And so to this day, it's been my thing that when the time comes and when it's the right time and I
Hmm.
deserve a week off and 2 weeks off,
Yeah.
um, that'll be my go-to. Go hide in a villa out there and just spend time taking surfing lessons and hiking and chilling with the locals. So that's what I'd love
That's
to do again.
awesome.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice. And when you go out for a drink, like what's your drink of choice?
Beer and bourbon.
Ooh, I like that. Okay.
Favorite beer and bourbon. Yeah.
Okay, that's amazing. I like that.
Yeah. Keep it straight. Yeah.
Nice, nice. And is there anything coming out next that you want to push your plug?
Um, yeah, there's a few things that I've kind of got chatting about that I'm very excited for. I think right now, in terms of the world opening up again and things kind of
Mhm.
going back to normal, it's just a great to slowly be getting back into that position. Coming back overseas, seeing the team and seeing everyone again, I'm very excited for. It's been a long time of having to keep plans on the back burner and kind of keep plans in the pocket. So I'm excited for that. Um, yeah, there's one or two things I'm very excited for, but I can't verbalize them just yet. So
Of course. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay. And where can fans find you at? Like what's your pages and stuff?
they can find me at Instagram and TikTok. Which yep, I'm promoting my TikTok, Instagram, and TikTok. Just blame Josh. Um, and I don't know if my Facebook is up to date and everything, but Joshua Eady on Facebook and Joshua Eady _ on Twitter. Yeah, that's about where I'm at. I have a website where I do a lot of my content creation and stuff. It's a little sideline business that I have. We do a lot of videography, photography, podcast running, stuff like that, called Marauder Studios. It's marauderstudios.com. We ran a podcast called Storytime
Oh no.
about it. It was a lot of fun as well, and started getting into vlogging recently as well. So at least a couple of vlogs up on YouTube. That's also just Josh Eady on YouTube, and that was a lot of fun as well. So yeah, it's been
Wow.
yeah.
You definitely keep busy. I have to hand it to you. You're on the go.
Try to, yeah, I have to stay busy. Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. Well, I don't want to take up any more of your time. I know it's the start of the weekend, and you probably have a lot of plans. So I want to thank you for taking time out, coming on the show and chat.
Dude, no problem at all. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your questions and your care and kind words. So thank you so much for having me.
Of course, buddy. Of course. Thank you.
Awesome. Be safe, man. Sending love.
Thank thank you. Same here. Look, have a really good weekend.
Thanks, man. You too.
Thank you.